What's happening in Lakerdom this morning? What do you think everybody's waking up thinking? Because they are going to play their last game of February from the 11th spot in the Western Conference standings on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not pretty. You know what I mean? The standings speak for themselves. The inconsistency speaks for itself. The talking points after the game speak for themselves. It's not good. You got a group that I think once we saw the Anthony Davis sweepstakes kind of reach the level that they did with the number of names that were publicized in trade packages, and then you already had the Luke Walton situation that was tenuous at best, and just so many moving parts that don't lend to, cohesiveness and chemistry. I think that's what we're seeing right now. And then you run into teams like Memphis that it's a little bit like, the Warriors get everybody's best shot every single time out. And even though the Lakers are bottom feeders right now, I think because you have LeBron on your team, you have that same dynamic, which is not helping. So, I mean, they're certainly in a tough spot.
Well, then how do they get out of this spot? How do they get out?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think they do. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. That's just my 2 cents. I don't trust kind of their togetherness. Their inconsistency, again, is an issue. So it's interesting to discuss and analyze it because there's part of me that says, like, if you're a Laker fan, how much does this really matter? How excited are you to get into the first round and then get sent packing at that point? I think the only substantive relevance of it, to be honest, is the coaching situation, because if they were to get in, if they were to put on a spirited show and who knows, even, kind of scare a team like the Warriors in the first round or something like that, then certainly Luke Walton could save his job and be back next year. Anything short of that, I'd be surprised if Luke was back. And so I think that stuff matters. But when it comes to their bigger picture plan, we all know what they're trying to do here. Half the guys that are in that locker room aren't long for that Lakers jersey. I think that's partly what's affecting their spirit as a team.
You think so? I mean, Sam Amick of The Athletic joining me here. And again, I played the LeBron soundbite that went viral last night, and I placed it in the perspective of the question and answer. It wasn't something that he just volunteered. It was an answer, the only answer to the question that was asked that he could possibly give, which is, do you think there's a distraction about the playoff conversation here in the locker room? And he gave the appropriate answer. So I guess I will ask the question as to, following up with what you said right there, that LeBron absolutely would want to make the playoffs and give a scare and find out who's the guy to actually stick around for the Laker uniform, or you think that really Anthony Davis did screw everything up?
Well, I think your point is valid. It screwed everything up, but could it be temporary? Yeah, I guess. I mean, let's go play the scenario out. If they don't get AD this summer, which if I'm handicapping it, I'm going to give Boston the lead on that front, then inevitably that means some of these current Lakers guys are maybe going to be part of the solution potentially. And so when you see Brandon have the kind of games that he's had recently, you see Kuzma step up, then sure, if you're LeBron, then you're trying to figure out, kind of how you see these guys, and that stuff does matter. I just tend to think that, it's fascinating to see LeBron go from east to west and to struggle so mightily to get into the playoffs. And I think for him individually, it matters because the optics are so bad. And this guy has been, at the top of the mountain or near it for 9 years now. And it's going to be an out-of-body experience potentially to be on the outside looking in and not be able to get into the top 8. So I'm not trying to pretend for a second that it doesn't matter for him. I just think that, it's a team game, and that's why it gets so tricky. To piggyback real quick on your other point, and as I was kind of waiting to get on, and I appreciated what you said about the question that was given to LeBron, and I actually had just gotten off the phone with my buddy and colleague Bill Oram at The Athletic, who was the guy who asked the question. And so, kudos to you for being responsible with that video clip, because I do think it went viral in the wrong kind of way. Bill had asked him specifically if he thought that the push for the playoffs was a distraction. He put that word into the conversation, and LeBron was just reacting off of that.
Well, Sam, my philosophy is think responsibly. You know what I mean? You got to think responsibly when you get to my microphone.
And these guys, you're right about these athletes, and I've been dealing with this a lot lately. Honestly, I think I'm based in Northern California, and I've been in the middle of the Kevin Durant stuff recently, and there are times when I think these guys are 100% justified in being frustrated with how the media handles certain things, and social media in particular is tricky. So, we got to cut through some of that and figure out what these guys are actually saying.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.